Yeah, that thing on the hormone levels, I avoided talking about that stuff for so long. I think for a long time, I used that as an excuse to not kind of take accountability for the stuff that I could have been doing to improve it. And even like the blood results that I had back a few weeks ago, they're still not where they need to be. But physically, I know that since like January, I've taken accountability. The changes have like definitely been there, and other people are seeing.
Mm.
I can see it sort of like in myself. I know it's there. I know I've progressed. So it's even when there's things like that that you can't control, there's definitely like a lot that you can do to like improve your
Yeah,
situation. And
yeah, for sure. Um, Sort of having that, having your hormones optimized definitely helps with your certainty and confidence within yourself to just get shit done. Um, and it's very important, and it's something I've also been looking into, and I'm going to get tested in a couple of weeks' time just to see what my baseline levels are at, and yeah, hopefully improve them from there. Never actually done like any kind of blood test like this, and it's but I think a lot, or like probably most young men or guys our age should get their test levels checked, um, because yeah, it impacts every aspect of your life and just how you feel overall, your general mood, your ability to complete tasks, get stuff done, training in the gym. Um, and it's not just your total testosterone levels that you want to get looked at, it's also free testosterone, which is the testosterone that can actually be used by your body, which so that's more important to look at, and also other hormones like SHBG, prolactin, albumin, your estrogen. They all work together to give you the full picture on what might be happening with your levels there. Um,
I want
did
to
you?
say for you, has it been like what are the changes that you've noticed? What have you felt recently?
Yeah, like recently I felt kind of just a bit off, like not fully switched on. Um, just in the way I act, I might procrastinate a bit more, or take more time to complete tasks, thinking more rather than just doing. And I think, yeah, I thought maybe it's a hormone issue, or it could be like a dopamine issue or some other factor to do with my environment. But I wanted to get my levels checked anyway for a while now. So I think it's good to like rule that out maybe if that's not the cause, but I think we can always improve our levels. So it's definitely something that I wanted to look at and something I'm interested in. And I think getting, yeah, getting optimizing your hormones and your testosterone is super important, and definitely improve 10x your life, like in all aspects. That's what I've noticed from other people who have done it as well. So um, yeah, that's how I've been feeling.
Mm. Yeah, I mean it's funny because I think for me, obviously levels haven't been where they need to be, where they should be for like ages, and it's literally going back now, probably coming up to like 2 years almost. And
Mm.
I think with anything, you when you felt a certain way for so long, you habituate to how you feel. You don't notice that things are necessarily wrong. You don't know how you could feel if you do feel better, which I think is the same
Mm.
with a lot of people in their fitness. When you're accustomed to a certain level of energy and how you feel day to day, even though like you're not happy when like you look in the mirror, but you I think you do habituate to it, and it's in that sense more comfortable to stay where you are than to make the change to improve your situation to achieve that result of feeling better, of looking better. And I think when you don't know how much better you could feel by making those changes, that I think people probably just don't. But probably for me, obviously I don't know where I could be if levels were normal, but having taken control of what I've been able to physically seeing that progress since like the start of the year to now, even despite levels being low, there are definitely things you can do regardless of your situation. But obviously, if there are things that you can do naturally to improve your hormones and improve how you feel, how you look, and just all those things on a day to day, then definitely as a young man, there's no excuse not to be doing those things if that's in your control to do something about that to improve your levels, improve your situation, improve just how much energy you have to go out and tackle things and pursue all the things that you want to do.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we, a lot of people in like us, that we go to the gym, we eat right, you know, um, we read books, we try to improve ourselves, improve our knowledge, improve our mind, improve our body. But sometimes a lot of the time we overlook a very fundamental issue, which might be something to do with your hormones, and that impacts everything that I've just mentioned. So it's sort of, you got to, for example, if you're having mental health issues, it might not be something specific or particular within your environment. It might just be a chemical imbalance in your brain, or your hormones aren't optimized fully, that's causing you to feel like shit. So it's important to get those checked out. And if everything looks fine on that end, then maybe it's something else. Maybe it's your environment. Like for me, I noticed when I was in Thailand, I was out in the sun all day. I was outside. I was doing Muay Thai twice a day. I was exercising a lot, ice bath, sauna, just enjoying myself, riding motorbikes. And I felt just alive. And I think that's sort of, it's probably to do something with the new environment, the whole novelty aspect and dopamine. But there is some effect. I mean, your environment has a huge impact. Of course, you're going to feel better over there doing some, out in the sun, outside all day, exercising, than if you're locked up away in your room all day and just sat at your desk all day, not getting any sun, not moving your body much. So it could just be an environmental issue and how you go about your day. But regardless, the point still stands. It's important to get your hormones checked out, because I think for most people and most guys, it's severely below what it should be, like compared to 50 years ago when I don't know if your granddad or your great granddad had like 1,000 nanograms per deciliter of total test. And I think, yeah, the average back then was maybe like 700 to 1500. Now it's like 300 to 600, or yeah, the upper end being the absolute maximum 1,000, but most guys don't have that.
Yeah, I think an important point on that is yes, a lot of young guys might have lower T levels for whatever reason, and I think for anyone that thinks that they are lower than they should be or when they start getting tested for it, before you jump into any stuff like treatment, like the external, like TRT, not that young men should be taking it, but like looking for things like the supplements and the other things that are trying to get their levels back to where they should be. Is all I think it's always worth looking at the behavioural stuff first. Obviously, like
Mm,
certain things in your environment you might not be able to change. There might be things like, I don't know, with you if it's like mold in your house, or like
mm.
I don't even know if, even like if you live in a city, if that affects it. But um, yeah, fixing the things around like diet first, which is huge, and
Yeah,
exercise and sunlight, and those, just taking the simple basics before jumping into anything else. Like do the natural things before you try and use,
trend.
yeah, or anything
No,
else,
don't use trend, guys. Don't do that.
or even sleep, because like
Yeah,
I know so many of us, even like me, sometimes just don't get enough sleep, and like chronically that's gonna affect levels as well. So I don't think it's a good thing. Like yes, it's good to get checked, get good to see your levels, but when you have that number, always look at the things that you can control now within your lifestyle, within your daily routine, because there will 100% be for most people areas that you can improve it. Firstly, through the things like diet, exercise, and those things, and then like all the things around phthalates and those other little things in the clothes you're wearing and X, Y, Z.
microplastics. I mean, plastics everywhere in your clothes and your, yeah, unless you have, cotton and stuff, and bed sheets, different kitchen utensils or whatever. I always try to get wooden stuff or metal, glass. Stay away from all that shit. But um, also the water you drink, um, that's important. I mean, probably a lot of the viewers already know all this, um, but yeah, it's, to your point, it's important to make sure you're doing everything right first. You can't completely eliminate like all plastics in your environment or just everything in your environment, like pollution or whatever. But the things you can control, like your sleep, your diet, your training. Um, like for me, those are dialed in, and I'm taking supplements. So I'm wondering, why am I not feeling like fucking Superman yet? There might be something to do, an underlying issue with my hormones. Maybe my SHBG levels are too high and is stopping my testosterone from being usable. And even if I have a high total test, I might have a low free test. So things like that, just to get the full picture, it's good to do, because when you are doing everything that you should be doing and you're not noticing that, you might feel a bit off, you might not be super switched on or just certain, even just the way you walk might not be, you might not feel confident or as confident as you should be feeling. Um, so yeah, those are things to look out for. And obviously how hard your rod is in the morning, that's a big one as well. That's a pretty good indicator of like where your levels are at. So yeah.
I mean, that's a big point as well, like on with hormone levels and how if they're not where they need to be, how that is for a lot of people gonna impact their risk tolerance, their obviously testosterone is the thing that, and I think I've got to a point where I'm kind of working around it now with, even though it's low, I'm able to kind of like work around it, but it's the thing that makes you want to do the hard work or keep pushing through when stuff gets hard. And yeah, definitely a big thing, like you were saying, in terms of the ability to tolerate risk, to do the uncomfortable stuff, to do the things that your brain is telling you not to do, and being able to push through, having that like discipline, that willpower, and that drive to push through it.
Yeah, and hard work feels enjoyable, or pushing yourself hard at the gym feels enjoyable when your hormones are optimized. Um, Whereas the opposite is true if they're not, and you just feel lazy. You want to leave the gym. You won't want to do work. You just have so much less motivation, and um, yeah, it doesn't even require, if your hormones are in check, it doesn't require much discipline even to stick to the tasks that you set out to do. Um, that's why it's such a superpower. And thing about taking risks, you just start acting more, you just start doing more, you stop thinking so much, you stop over analyzing, you stop procrastinating, you just do more stuff and take more risks. You quit your job, you'll go after, start that business you wanted to start, and you'll just go fully after it, and not you won't tolerate bullshit anymore, and just where you're at in your life. And it's it's so important to have that, because yeah, the your ability to take risks and your tolerance for risk is so is directly linked to to where am I going with this? It's your tolerance for risk is directly linked to much how much you're gonna how likely it is for you to succeed. Yeah, let me redo that. Your tolerance for risk is directly linked to how likely it is for you to succeed. Um, the more risks you take, the more stuff you'll try, the closer you'll get to achieving your goal. That's simple as that. And if your tolerance for risk is lower and you're scared of taking risks, you don't take risks, you'll never try stuff, you'll never get to where you need to be or where you want to be. Which is why, from what we said in the beginning, how important it is to optimize your hormones and make sure that that's in check first, if it's not other lifestyle factors that are impacting that.
I think that's a big thing for both of us on the topic of risk. Obviously, we are kind of both going down maybe a less conventional path than most people in terms of what we're trying to build, where we're trying to go. And in a way, there's the same kind of element of risk, not necessarily like risk in the normal sense, but what I definitely found, like putting myself out there on social media, trying to grow that side of it, it's not like risk in the sense of you're not risking like your life, you're risking more like your reputation, where you're putting yourself out there. And definitely at first, I know for me, for anyone, I think putting yourself out there, you're always worried and concerned about the people that have known you for maybe your whole life, that have known you from school. You're always thinking, what are they going to think about you when you start doing something different, something new? You try and put yourself out there in a different way, and that's always hard at first, but like you say, with like the success that you want is behind all those risks that you're like avoiding taking, and you can get so much just by putting yourself out there online, obviously finding what your interests are, something that whatever you want to pursue, but going into creating that personal brand, putting yourself out there, and just removing that fear of judgment of the people that you've known in the past. If you're worrying about their judgment, one, they're probably not gonna be the people that end up, if you're running a business, that they're not gonna be the people that are gonna buy from you. Two, if you're worried about, maybe it's your friends or old friends or people that you've known, they're not meant to be your friends anyway. So it's just putting yourself out there, I think, and just knowing that if you follow intrinsically what you're wanting to follow, you know that it's going to resonate with the right people, and it's on that path where you want to be. So in a sense, when you get into that and keep staying that mindset, it's then not so much of a risk. It's not such a massive thing to do that hard thing, because you no longer really care about what XYZ people are going to think about you, because it's irrelevant. And I think like what we were speaking about in the last episode about finding your thing that you want to go after, is really just looking at most risks that are out there in terms of what we're looking to do, to pursue, to anything. They're so minor, and I think we just overthink things so much. We just talk ourselves out of it, say that we can't do it, we're not ready, and then we stay stuck. And maybe with hormones, we don't make the changes that we need to. We stay stuck where we are. We get comfortable. We don't make the changes that we want to, and then we just don't get to where we want to in life. So I think,
Yeah, completely. And taking risks is so important when you're young, when you don't have many obligations, or you don't have much responsibility, and you don't have a family to provide for, you don't have kids to provide for in your 20s most of the time, hopefully. And it's just, the biggest risk is staying where you are and not doing anything about it, um, just accepting things, and then one day you wake up, you're like, fuck, what did I do? What did I actually do in the past 10-15 years? Like, when you're in your mid 30s or 40s, and you're just like, where did all that time go? And you're thinking, you just have such a big sense of regret within you for not even trying, not even taking one risk, not even one mistake. You played it by the book your whole life. You didn't do anything outside the norm. You didn't try what you wanted to try, and no risk, no reward. That's how it goes. You just live a normal, mediocre life, which I'm sure most of you watching this podcast do not want. And you want the very best. We want the very best. We're doing everything we can to go after what we want to pursue. We're taking risks. We're not going down the conventional path. And we're making mistakes. We're putting ourselves out there. You, Joe, especially, you've done that, and you've realized that wasn't so bad. That was like, in fact, it's paid off massively. Like so, and it will continue to pay off even more. So there's really no risk in it at all in taking risks. So
Mm.
yeah,
Something that came to mind as you were saying that is the thing of investing in yourself, which always feels like a risk. Any investment feels like a risk, but like I was signed up with a business mentor last July, I think it was, and like that was a big investment at the time. I was skeptical. I wasn't sure if I should have done it, if I could commit that much. And looking back now, knowing that at the time, yes, it's scary to make a big investment like that, but from that point, I was so committed and having the guidance that I knew that I needed to push on in the way that I wanted to. That was probably one of the biggest things that kind of like transformed everything. And like, I think we both know, like the best investment, and anyone watching, you should know that the best investment that you can make is always within yourself, because
yeah,
you are the asset that is always gonna go up. And obviously the returns are huge in terms of what you're gonna get out of the knowledge that you'll gain, the stuff that you can implement, the things that you can build. That changed a lot for me. And actually, the other day, I just committed to another 12 months with them because I thought I've more than earned back like multiples of what I put in initially. So just go for it again. Just keep just being in that mindset of you have to take the risk, and it might be a lot, but just trust in yourself that if you follow the guidance, you put in the work, you do the stuff, and just commit, and just knowing that, just having that trust in yourself that you will follow through, that it's always going to pay off. It's always going to be worth it. If I think if you just have that trust in yourself, trust in the process, show up and do the stuff every day, and you'll make it work. I think a lot of people probably stay stuck just by not taking the risks like that, like taking the bet on themselves that they might need to. Maybe it's because of the fear of trying and then failing, the fear of like trying and putting yourself out there publicly and then giving up for whatever reason. But there's like literally no better investment that you can make in yourself, and that's why I know that some people, you might have circumstances where it's harder if you have other expenses going out and stuff to think about. But if you are in a position to invest in yourself and commit and build the future that you want, then I believe you just have to put everything into that, and that's literally just changed everything for me so far.
yeah. Also, when you invest a large sum of money into investing in yourself, whether that's like a mentorship or some kind of course, you're more likely to stay disciplined and push through it and actually achieve what you want to achieve because you've put real money on the line. You don't want it to feel like it was a waste, and it just makes it that much easier to stick to your goals and things like that. Um, and investing in yourself, yeah, it's if you're not even willing to take a bet on yourself, then it, you don't have much. There's not much point even thinking about it. Then, if you're not even willing to believe in yourself, you have to believe in yourself to for whatever it is that you want to pursue. And you know, investing in yourself, as you said, is the best investment. There's no downside to it. Even if you don't achieve what you want to achieve, you definitely will have learned something and that will just make you a better, more well-rounded person. And then the next time you go after it, you'll be better equipped and you'll probably be more likely to succeed. So there's really little downside, and you'll just become a more valuable person to whatever market you're trying to capitalize on. And it's yeah, you know, things like S&P 500, Bitcoin, other other investments, you know, even real estate, you know, the best investment is always in yourself. So those things come secondary to that. And it's about, yeah, I'll speak on that later.
Yeah, the person you become is a huge thing. I think at our age, I know people will say it's important to invest in like well the S&P in America, the like invest in stocks and like have those savings there, which are obviously the thing that's like more reliable. But I still think for us at our age, and it might be naive to say it, but I think because I will put a bit aside to that, but I just think it's a such better place to just go all in on yourself and just commit because even if we were to get to 30 and you try things, you fail, you try and fail, and you get to 30 and you suddenly like, well, maybe you gain a bit, lose a bit, and you end up at like 30 and you lose maybe everything that you made. It's not about the money because it's about who you become, the lessons you learn, the skills that you've built, and you know that that version of you, with all of that experience behind you, is gonna like more than easily be able to make it up if you had to. So it's just taking those bets on yourself and realizing that we have time because we're so young that I don't know about you, but I'll always be stressing myself out about thinking that I have to be at this point by the end of the year, or you'll have people like Iman Gadzi talking about, oh, 2025 is your last chance to build the business or you're doomed. Like, and I get it because
AI is going
online,
to replace you.
yeah, all of that stuff. And I get it because it's anyone that's trying to get someone to sign up for their program, their course. And I won't lie, even like I'll do it with clients sometimes. Like you're trying to create urgency. You want to give people a reason to buy now because naturally humans are lazy and most people are going to stay stuck. So you need to create some kind of level of desire to do something now. And in a way, I don't think it's a bad thing that people do that because it will get people up and start taking the actions. And even if it's not the right way, like even if they're attracting them with something that's not true or not real, if it gets them doing the right stuff that's going to improve their life, that's going to get them to where they want to be, it's not necessarily a bad thing. But definitely in terms of where we're at, and for anyone like our age, it's always important to remember that we do have time, and it's having those goals and be focused on them, be committed to them, taking the actions, but keeping that level of detachment that you're not attached to what you are or not going to achieve, staying focused on the process, stay grateful for the things that you have now, stay grounded, take the time for yourself to pause to reflect now and again, and then keep pushing. And that's the hard balance between staying present, staying grateful, but then also always pushing and driving for more.
Yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and you got to realize that you're going to be doing this a while. So yeah, there's really no rush. No, don't put so much stress on yourself, and to achieve 10K by next year or the next 6 months or whatever. Like You got to be willing to play the long game, and that's how you'll stick at it and stick to one thing, and make sure, as we said in the last episode, you do something that you actually enjoy and you're passionate about. It'll make it that much easier. And yeah, it's also about striking that balance with, yeah, you do have time and you should be grateful for what you have, but you also need that drive to go after it. And what we're preaching is, yeah, invest in yourself. Don't, don't invest in other things. Like, you can set some money aside in stocks or whatever a little bit, but I'd say most of your investment should be going into yourself, improving yourself, learning new skills, taking in new knowledge. And if you want success, relatively young or quite fast, if you want to be a millionaire in your 20s or 30s, it's probably more likely you'll get there by investing in yourself rather than putting it in the S&P 500 every month, where you'll be a millionaire at 60, for example. Like, that's a different game. Some people are optimizing for playing it safe, or and we're optimizing for, we're playing to win, and others are playing not to lose. That's the difference there. Neither one's right or wrong, but I think most people watching this podcast probably want to enjoy their life now and have the best experiences while they're young. They can do everything that they want while they're young, and uh, travel, go to new places, go to different parts of the world, build a business, and not wait until they're 60 or 70 now to enjoy their life when they probably can't enjoy it as much as when you're young, is what we're saying.
Definitely. And I was just thinking, as you were saying about the investing in the stock market, because I know, at least from, because I was in the real world, Andrew Tate's whole thing a few years ago, got into it for a while and then left it. But seeing so many people drawn to trading and like investing in stocks, but doing it in a way that you're trying to like get quick wins, quick returns to get to where you want to be. And I think it's almost seems to like the thing like we're doing ecom, where you're doing it just to get a quick buck, to get that fast money in that you think is gonna build the business and the life that you've always wanted. But I just think, obviously, especially with like trying to day trade, I just think you see all the people at the top that are succeeding, but then you don't see the other like 1,000 that tried it and failed. You only see the people that have succeeded, and something like that is so, like, that is risk, because the return, like the odds of you actually being successful with it are so low. And then with like ecom, if
Mm,
it's not attached to like a wider brand that you want to like pursue long term, I just think for most people, for most things, you're just not gonna stick with it long enough to make it a success. Which is again back to
yeah,
the thing of investing in yourself, building your skills, building a brand around something that you're genuinely passionate about and you could see yourself doing for the end of time, even if you weren't going to get paid for it. Like, that's the thing that
yeah,
you should be going after, because success in anything is going to come from just doing the simple basic things right for longer than most people will tolerate. And that's not going to come from doing something that you don't care about, that you're not intrinsically passionate and motivated to do.
yeah, 100%. Like, we enjoy helping people, we enjoy improving ourselves and becoming the best version of ourselves. And also, when people come to me for advice, I like to spend time and think about how I can help them best, and give them the best advice, and not I do take time. If I get a message from an old friend, they see I'm doing well, and I will sit down and really think about how I can help them. And I think it goes back to, as you were saying, just actually going after the thing that you really enjoy and that you really want to pursue, and not just trying to make a quick buck in ecom or trading or something like that. Like, I'm not saying that everyone has to be a coach or has to want to help people, but just do the thing that really interests you. I mean, if trading really interests you, then that's fine. Like, go after that, but don't do it just because you see that there's people doing really well in it and there's a lot of money in it.
Yeah, it's the same thing even like in fitness where so many people will chase the that optimal training program that they've seen online, or if it's like with diets that they see something that's new and trending and think that it's the thing that they need to get them the results that they want. But it always comes back to the thing of the average done consistently is always going to be better than the perfect thing done for a week. If the training program isn't going to fit into your schedule, that isn't something that you enjoy, so you're not even going to push yourself as much as you could. If it's not fitting around your wants, your needs, your lifestyle, there's no point because it has to be something that is sustainable, that you can enjoy, and that you can stick to. Because I see so many people trying stuff with diets and with their training. It's nothing that is built for them. It's obviously it's hard when you're jumping around online trying to find stuff to help you, which is where cough like a coach will come in to kind of help you and guide you and give you that plan that would be like fit that would fit around your life. But with anything that you're trying to pursue in business or fitness or anything, just always making sure that it's something that you can do not just for a week, but that you can just stick to for just a stupidly long period of time that most people won't do, type of thing.
Yeah. And even if it's something that you're passionate about, there'll still be those days where you got to do some boring, mundane tasks day after day, week after week, month after month, and you got to be okay with that. And the reason you're going to be okay with that is because you know that it's what you want to do. You see the end result, you see the end goal, you see the vision, you see what it could lead to, and that's what allows you to persist and persevere through that. Um, even yeah, when it does get boring sometimes, some admin stuff or some back end automation systems. I mean, I enjoy that stuff, but some other people might not. But um, or if it's something like creating content, but speaking on camera, uh, marketing, sales, doing sales calls, you might not enjoy that, but even that is an investment in yourself, actually, because it's such an important skill to have, being sales and being able to speak to people, and the the return you'll get just by learning how to speak to people properly. Like for me, I'm trying to improve how I speak, public speaking, how I speak on camera, how I talk to people in person, and it's just so important. I think I just wanted to mention that. Sorry, went on a bit of a tangent there.
Yeah, maybe think about anything that you're going into. It's choosing because any path that you go on there are bad things, there are things that you don't necessarily enjoy about anything that you're going to go into, but it's knowing what is the shit that you're able to call it that, like what is the bad stuff that you're able to tolerate on whatever path that you're choosing. Because anything, obviously, it has the good things that you're looking to do, the things that you enjoy within it, but then also the things that you might not enjoy so much. But it's what is the bad stuff that you're willing to tolerate and willing to put up with, knowing that obviously most of your time should be going into the stuff that you enjoy or is building towards what you want to do. But what can you put up with in terms of the stuff within your work and all of that you don't enjoy, but you should know that you can put up with it, you can move through it because it's contributing to that wider thing that you do enjoy and that you want to do.
What is that thing for you in business, in your business, the stuff that you don't enjoy doing, but you still do it anyway?
Right now, it's hard to say because like content was the thing for ages that I didn't enjoy, but that just became more habitual over time. Outreach, sales, I don't necessarily find easy. Like outreach, both in terms of in the gym, speaking to new people. Being an introvert, it's hard to like go and speak to new people. So that was always something that I struggled with. Not
Mm,
that I've been in the gym loads now, but even doing the things like DMs with people, which is what is starting the conversations. That's where the calls are coming from, and I don't enjoy doing it, but I will do it. And I think probably the main thing at the moment is doing the sales calls with people that I don't always really enjoy sitting down with people, and it's always in sales. You know that you won't close everyone. You have to take at the start a lot of failures, a lot of people saying no to get through to the people that say yes. So I don't enjoy sales calls really because you know that a lot of people are gonna say no, and there are so many things you have to work around with people to get them to make the change. But even that's the thing that's not as enjoyable. It's even what I've been trying to do recently is just get yourself into the mindset of I am on this call to figure out whether I'm able to help this person get to where they want to go. If not, then that's fine. I know that I've presented myself in the right way. I've done everything that I could to try and help them. And if I can't help them, then that's fine. But it's just knowing that you will connect with the right people. They will see how what you offer can help them if you can connect their current situation, their desire that where they want to be, and that gap. If they can see the program and what say that I'm offering, if they can see that fitting into that, then they'll go with it. And it's just accepting that as much as I don't feel like sitting down to have the calls to speak with the people because it's time consuming, and knowing that a lot of time you don't get success from it, without that, it's very hard for the clients to come in. So it's just being okay with the fact that you're going to probably lose more times than you win. And it's really the getting the people that do then come in that is what makes it worth it. And then you get them in the program, you get them involved, and they start seeing how it can actually help them, and they get excited, and that's kind of the driver that makes you want to do it again. So I think it's more just the initial resistance to, oh, I've got to call it like 5 p.m. or 8 p.m. I just don't want to take it, but just reminding yourself of this is the connect between where you are and where you want to be. And it might not be a bridge that you want to have to cross, but if you don't do it, then you're going to stay stuck where you are. So it's
mm,
just overcoming
yeah.
the resistance, reminding yourself why it's important, remembering where you want to be, and that's it. So I wouldn't say necessarily at the moment there's anything that I'm really like avoiding doing or don't enjoy in what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I think you get used to getting punched in the face, you get used to the rejections, and you get used to like content not performing, and back into the mindset of just keep putting in the reps and not stressing over the payoff. Just know that keep doing the stuff, and what you want will come. It's more when, not if, and just staying focused on the end goal where you want to be, and that's definitely helped me.
Yeah. Shall we wrap it up?
Yeah, that's probably a good time to wrap up. If people want to find more about our stuff, where's a good place like for you for people to go to follow to connect?
Yeah. So on YouTube, I mean, you'll see it. It's at Philip Solomon 777. On my Instagram, if you want to connect with me directly, that's at Philip underscore Michael underscore Souls. That's SOLZZ, but it'll be in the description anyway. And for you, Joe?
Yeah, so Instagram Joe Penrose underscore, Facebook Joe Penrose. If you use Facebook, I don't know if anyone watching this would use Facebook, but on there, then on TikTok, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, all the other places as well. Instagram's the main one. YouTube Joe underscore Penrose. Again, I think it'll be tagged in this video anyway. And then the other thing is, if you watch this far in the video, you probably resonate to some extent with what we're talking about. If you want to join the community that we're building now, which we are trying to build this community of young men in a similar situation to what we were in, what we're going through now. So then we can create a place for other young guys to connect and talk about the things that most people don't talk about, because we don't have many people that we can talk about this stuff with. We're literally just two guys that connected at
Yeah.
uni, and now find that where we're at, there's not really anyone else that we can talk to about this stuff. So yeah, try to build that community of other people that are on that same path. And if you are interested, we'll leave a link to our school community that's should be going live after this has been recorded. Go down
Yeah.
there, join that, and then that'll be the best place to stay connected, stay in touch with more, and also just connect with other guys who are on the same trajectory. So
Yep. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.